So, good morning everyone. I will be discussing about the fascinating world of beta splendens. So, my name is Angelica Arellano and I will be guiding you through the advances in their aquaculture management. So, let's start with the overview of betta fish. So, betta splendens is the scientific name for this beautiful betta fish. So, this is commonly called the Siamese fighting fish. They are native to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and also to Indonesia and Malaysia. So, these vibrant fish typically reach a maximum size of 6 to 8 centimeters or 2.36 to 3.25 inches. So Beta splendens has a relatively short lifespan to 2 to 5 years. They are egg-laying fish with the male constructing a unique bubble nest. The breeding process involves the courtship, spawning, and egg collection by the male. So for its development, I have here an example. So here's my betta fish. Backstory lang, so dahil gandang-ganda ako sa betta fish and naging stress reliever ko na din talaga siya noong BS ako, that's why nag-collect akong different types ng betas. So hanggang sa na-curious ako noon kung um, paano magparami or paano mag-breed, kaya pinag-aralan ko talaga siya lalo yung sa breeding process niya. So basically nga, after mating ng male and female betta fish, is nare-release na yung eggs. Then the eggs will be hatched within 24 to 48 hours. Then after 3 to 4 days, they will become a swim a fry or yung tinatawag natin na free swim. So here's my photo during the breeding process from creating a bubble nest. Ayan, so hanggang maging swim a fry na. Then after a month, yan na yung result which is yung photo na nasa baba. So here's the scientific classification of betta fish from the kingdom Animalia all the way down to the species which is the B. splendens. So I also have here the care information of betta splendens. So betta fish has a care level of easy to moderate to manage within a 2 to 5 years lifespan. Its optimum temperature is 24 to 28 degrees Celsius and the pH of 6.5 to 7.5. So yung ibang info here is i-discuss din natin sa ibang slides. So moving forward, one of the most beautiful features of betta splendens is their variety of tail types. So from the elegant na veil tail hanggang sa like yung crown tail na parang extreme na siya. So meron tayong photo dito ng veil tail, spade tail, double tail, round tail, the delta, the super delta, and of course the classic, yung half moon. And then other naman is yung rose tail, the crown tail, comb tail, the half moon plakat, and then the plakat. So moving forward, so ito yung photo ng growth ng betta fish from a tiny 0.03 inches egg to a nearly 2 inches juvenile or exactly 1.9 inches long within 11 weeks. So the life cycle of betta splendens begin when the male builds a bubble nest and then fertilizes the egg released by the female. So the eggs will hatch within 1 to 2 days nga. Then the tiny fry will be remain sa na-build na bubble nest. So after a few more days, they will become swim a fry. And then pwede nang pakainin afterwards ng mga small live food. So as they grow, gumaganda yung mga fins nila, yung color nila na de-develop, and then yun. Then after 3 to 4 months naman, they will reach adulthood na and ready to reproduce na siya, which completes its life cycle. So moving on to the next slide. Beyond their beauty naman, beta splendens also has significant economic importance. So they are used in research, in education, in aquaculture, business, competition, and of course, as livelihood since mahal din talaga yung price ng betta fish. So, next. Next is yung culture system design. This includes appropriate tank size, maintaining optimal water quality, careful stocking, and a proper feeding for both adults and fry. So, the beta culture system involves nga ito yung breeding in small tanks in 10 to 20 liters with a shallow water and a bubble nest support. So the ideal water condition includes the temperature of 26 to 30, sabi ko nga rin kanina, and has a pH of 6.5 to 7.5 with irregular changes ng maybe ng water din, and gentle aeration lang. So the stocking rate is 1 beta per tank since this is a fighting fish. So mag-aaway-away talaga sila if ever na pagsasama-samahin yung um, betas natin. So for its feeding naman, adult betas are then fed with live food or frozen food or maybe high protein pellets, whereas yung fry betas will be fed naman ng microworms or baby brine shrimp. So moreover, the fry are separated from the male after 3 to 5 days, then raised in clean, divided tanks. For the grow-out system naman, the males are separated by 6 to 8 weeks and ready to market or sell by 3 to 4 months, depending yun sa type or sa strain ng beta. So next, for the sexual dimorphism, males and females, meron talaga siyang pagkakaiba sa characteristics nila. Then, yung male are slightly larger with longer or more vibrant flowing fins. While naman yung female, slightly smaller siya, shorter then, and has rounded fins and lack the prominent gill membrane or yung beard niya. So, ito yung beard niya dito sa side na ng malapit sa parang operculum niya. So, the other differences are stated din dyan sa table na yan. So, moving forward dito sa feeding and nutrition. So, Siamese fighting fish have upturned mouths or yung nakataas yung mouth niya, which are primarily carnivorous surface feeder siya. So, yung kinikip natin as pets are typically pinapakain natin siya ng baby pellets, floating flake food, and freeze-dried bloodworms, which is available din naman yon sa mga stores na, or sa mga aquatic pet stores na available sa atin. And then pinapakain din natin siya ng, yun nga, protein-rich diet. It can be fed 1 to 2 times a day to ensure the health growth or the healthy growth and vibrant colors ng ating betas. Isa nga rin pala, sa wild naman or in the wild, ang kinakain ng mga betas doon, zooplankton na, which includes the crustacean, larvae, and then other insects like flies, ganon. So move forward na tayo dito sa economic consideration. So the economic consideration of breeding ornamental fish such as betas has a potential as profitable yet manageable venture. So it involves low startup cost and low operating cost as it requires only minimal space, small tanks, basic equipment, and small amount of feed, water, and electricity. So Beta also offers high space and feed efficiency as they can thrive in compact system and grow well with minimal food. So the business presents high profit potential, especially for rare and colorful varieties that can go up to a premium prices. So breeding is efficient with a single pair capable of producing hundreds of fry, and there is a strong market demand sa mga pet stores din, including na dun yung mga online platforms and also for export opportunities. Pero meron ding risk yung pag-aalaga ng betta fish, particularly related to disease outbreaks and cannibalism, which must be carefully managed naman din. Depende yun sa pag-aalaga. Then I think this is my last slide, which is the challenges and future direction. So the betta fish in aquaculture also faces several key challenges that impacts both productivity and sustainability. So one major issue dito is yung cannibalism nga saka yung aggression, particularly na lang sa mga male betta fish, which is territorial and must be separated early to prevent fighting. So additionally, disease outbreaks are common due to poor water quality and overcrowding, which ornamental fish are particularly sensitive to. So sa genetic inbreeding, meron din siyang threat doon as overbreeding reduce the health of the fish. So for the market saturation, where popular varieties may lose market, syempre, pag yung sa color niya, if ever na sobrang dami ng production, tas pare-parehas lang, may possibility na hindi yun i-accept or bilhin ng iisang buyer lang. So, yun din yung isang downside niya, yung oversupply. And then, moving forward naman sa future directions, we have here improved breeding techniques which focuses on color, fin quality, and hardiness. Second one is selective genetics to avoid inbreeding and develop superior strain. Then better culture system, which we have here the automated space-saving system for efficiency. And then the fourth one is health management innovations, which uses the probiotics, vaccines, and biosecurity. Then the last one is the expansion of export markets, which tapping into a global ornamental trade. And that ends my presentation about Betta splendens. Thank you very much.